We are in the home stretch of the NFL season, just 3 weeks of action left to be played, and here on Keeping Score, we're going to walk you through the NFL season. I'm your host, Theodore Fernandez, going to school in Alabama now. You may remember me from last year, but I'm back to share my NFL expertise with everyone else, and you'll also probably recognize much of my crew. Starting on my right, M-Dog. How we doing today?
Yeah, ready for the playoffs. Getting ready. And I want to hear your picks.
Yeah, sole representative of the dog pound, still remaining. Fun having Ella on last year, but to his left, Mr. Mark, Big Daddy. How we feeling?
I'm good. Good to see you, T-Money. So looking forward to some Lions wins near the end of the season, and hopefully some wins in the playoffs. So we will see.
You know, look, we live. Go ahead.
No. Woo-wee.
Okay.
Getting excited for...
Look, we live in Warwick, New York, but for some reason it always seems like it's a struggle finding fellow Giants fans to come on the show with me. Makai, Wi-Fi, you're wearing a Bills jersey. Well, you are a Giants fan, right?
Yeah, I'm a Giants fan. I love the Giants. I just happen to have a Bills jersey, and I was like, oh, let's wear a Bills jersey.
Stephon Diggs, a very good player, although I'd have some questionable things to say about the Bills offense, but I'm sure, Katie, man, you might disagree due to your wife's fandom.
Bills are trending up right now. Yeah. Somebody did pick them to disappoint. They got to win out. I'm a Jet fan. Does it shock you what happened to the Jets this year? No. And now Aaron Rodgers is on the squad. But he won't play this year. But they want him to practice for the next 3 days. He needs some practice for next year. So, typical Jet season. I expected it.
Yeah, I think, a lot of people at least kind of expected the Jets to be a letdown, which actually brings us to our first segment of the show. If you may recall, back in September, we made some NFL picks. We talked about, what teams would surprise or what teams would disappoint and what team would dominate, in their respective NFL conferences. And now we're going to run it back, and we're going to look back at those picks we made. And M-Dog, I want you to start us off. You graded one of our analysts. Let's see how he did it.
All right, I got Wi-Fi on the table right now. I'm not going to give an overall grade until the end, I guess, but we're going to just dissect real quickly a couple of your picks there. So listen, Domini, Chiefs, they're doing all right. I wouldn't necessarily call it domination, so I give you a B with the Chiefs. All right, not so bad. I mean, listen, you got to tell my homie to stop complaining. If the guy's foot is over the line, it's over the line, all right? What are you going to do? You stop complaining and play, and then maybe the Chiefs will dominate, all right? So, but not so bad with the Chiefs. They're okay. Surprise, like the Texans. They, C.J. Stroud is getting them there, so I like that. I like that pick. Not an A, but I gave you a B with the Texans. I like the Texans as a surprise because the quarterback's a surprise. So good job with that. A little disappointment with the Browns. I expected the Browns to do a little bit better, but they're not doing all that horrendous. So I didn't even give you that bad of a grade with the Browns. I mean, they've had some injuries, right? Chubb and so you can't blame you entirely, Wi-Fi. I think you're doing a good job here. What really lowers your overall grade is this a surprise. We got the Seahawks, I mean, unless they were going to be surprisingly bad, but I think you meant good. But that's kind of lowering your grade overall there. Eagles dominating, they kind of did for the first 10, 11 games, right? But they've slid, so that kind of slides your grade down there from an A to a B, Vikings, disappointment. You were spot on with that one. Good job, Minnesota Vikings. So overall, Wi-Fi, listen, I'm giving you a B. I think that's pretty good. You don't look that happy, but listen, I've given people far worse grades before, and they know it here in Warwick. So and they hate me for it. But some people can't handle the truth. But you can handle it because I know you're top notch.
Yeah.
You got a B. Room for improvement. Good job, Wi-Fi. Good job.
Take it.
All right.
You survived that. Nice job.
Wi-Fi, you just got graded. Let's go and see what you gave me, because you were the one grading my picks. So we'll see how.
Ooh, I hope you were hard.
The student grades the fellow student. Go ahead.
Well, Theo, I'm going to be completely honest with you. I was not going to be too generous with your picks because it felt like you were there, but you also weren't there. Like some of your picks. First, we'll start with the dominating teams. We'll go with the Chiefs first. I also agreed with you on this. Honestly, they weren't dominant. I don't think any AFC team was dominant this year, but I think that the Chiefs have been one of the best teams in the AFC. But the Vikings on the NFC, I have so many. I don't even want to say questions. I have concerns. Are you okay? Like,
Okay, to be fair,
What's going on in Tuscaloosa?
Kirk Cousins got hurt. Come on, man.
I'll give you a little bit of slack. He did get hurt, so that team was looking pretty on fire offensively before that. But when we're gonna move to your surprise picks, because your surprise picks weren't as bad.
Yeah.
They weren't as bad. But just again, it felt like there was something there, but it was also missing. Like it just, I can't really put words to it. It just felt like it wasn't like, I don't know what to say. It just wasn't there.
Let me just say this. You know, M-Dog, you saw the Mile High Prophet last year, right? I saw it this year. You know, I was trying to make something
it's
happen
tough.
there.
You can get disillusioned if
Yeah.
you see the wrong prophet.
I think we got to make sure the Prophet...
I think your problem might
Makes
be
no
you're
more.
living south of the Mason-Dixon line now.
Yeah, you know, it's all college there. Like, we don't care about
It is
it.
all
Well, there
Yes.
you go.
Yeah, but the Broncos, I mean, they've looked good recently. They were on a hot streak a little bit there in the middle of November, but dropping a huge loss to the Lions. That was
Yeah.
a
Despite
tough
that.
loss.
Oh,
That was
oh, who
Russell's
did
not
these two?
cooking.
Oh, what
that
was that?
Repeat that?
That was a
Yeah,
tough
yeah.
loss to the Lions.
Sorry.
It was hard to watch. And your disappointments, honestly, weren't that bad.
I nailed those.
Yeah, your
Yeah,
disappointments weren't that bad. That was pretty spot on.
Yeah.
I think overall your grade is going to be a C though, because that Vikings pick was really bad. I can't hold you on that one. That Vikings pick is really bad. So I'm gonna give you a C on that.
Well, when my analyst grade is worse than my actual college GPA, that's when you know that things are not going to plan. I did not live up to the T-Money moniker with those picks I made. But it's okay because now I get to go and judge our other analysts. And Big Daddy, you're up to bat. Let's see how you did on your picks. In a second, when we have your surprise, letdown, and disappoint. Here we go. Look, so far everyone's picking the Chiefs to dominate. I'm giving everyone a pass on that because at the end of the day, no one in the AFC is dominated. So it's a pretty neutral pick. Philly to dominate. They're one of the three best teams in the NFC. Can't really complain there. Surprise team, Detroit. Yeah, good job. Good work. But come on. The New York Jets to be a surprise team. This team had letdown written all over it. Candyman said it earlier. I said it. Come on, that's one that you should be.
September 11th, play 4.
Yeah,
Achilles.
downright ashamed of.
You're only as strong as your Achilles heel.
Yeah.
Your Achilles heel is still there.
Look,
He'll be there next year, too. Mr. Rogers.
He will be there next year.
It'll be Mr. Rogers' neighborhood. It'll be
I'm ready
scarier.
for him.
Scarier scenario.
Yeah, you know, look, Big Daddy, your disappointments really were not bad. The Bills have certainly been a disappointment. I don't think they're all that good. You really could have been the first one to crack an A, but I can't give you an A with that Jets pick. So you're going to land at a B, which I think is respectable for how you did. And now we can have you go and...
You know, you could have
grade
given him a
someone.
B plus. You know,
I thought about it.
Hey, I'll take the B.
All right.
I'll take the B.
All right.
I'm good with that.
as a Lions
So,
fan, you should probably.
Yeah, you know, because like I said, with the Lions, you never know. It's one of those things that
Yeah.
totally a surprise.
Oh, yeah.
So, but not a surprise. So, which is okay, which is all right.
Yeah, so there's your B, as we said earlier.
And I will gladly take
Yeah.
that B. So a B is
You
a
know,
good grade.
If you picked any team other than the Jets to be the surprise team, you know,
Well,
you could have been a little
You know, with Rodgers, you never knew. So, you know, we were hoping, kind of keeping our fingers crossed, and fourth play, right?
Yeah.
Fourth play.
30 seconds.
So, you know.
They should have heeded the warning of the bruised calf muscle
Oh,
in preseason.
Yeah.
True. So, but I guess I'm going to be grading Candyman next, right?
Oh, here we go.
We had Candyman's picks from this beginning of the season. So we had the Bengals to dominate. We had San Francisco. Again, good pick with San Francisco dominating. Nice job. I appreciate the Lions and their pick for a surprise team. Disappointment, again, the Vikings. I agree. And the Bills, yeah, they have been a little bit of a disappointment. So, you know, we had high hopes for those Bills. But, you know, again, they did do pretty good. You know, there were a couple of things that were a little, you know, dicey there as far as your picks. So I didn't give you a total good grade. So again, I believe I gave you an overall grade of a B minus.
I'll take that.
Candyman. So
I'll take the
again,
B minus.
a respectable grade.
Yeah.
So but like I said, some of the dominating teams were a little off. So that's okay. It's all good. It's all good.
Disappointment for the Bills is losses to the Jets and Patriots, killing them.
Yeah.
Even though they're trending up right now. Yeah, so the Niners pick, I thought that was kind of obvious. So it's not like I went out on a limb. Like M-Dog often goes out on a limb and
Let me tell you something.
picks some
Theo
dark
said
horse. I didn't do that. I went
everybody
obvious.
picked the Chiefs to dominate.
Exactly.
I didn't
True.
pick the Chiefs to dominate.
No, you didn't.
No way.
And I have your picks, yeah.
Oh, I know you have my picks.
Yeah, but
Bring
you
it
didn't
on.
really
Start with the worst.
You didn't really mention them though. Start with the worst. You picked the Chargers to dominate.
Oh yeah, I did.
I like the Chargers. I was riding their bandwagon. I hated that loss last year. Finally, Brandon Staley is gone. Their highlight of the year was Khalil Mack's 6 sacks against the Raiders early in the season. Then later in the season, they play the Raiders, and we have an interim coach now.
To the Chargers, man.
Yeah.
Austin Eckler.
Will
obviously
Belichick
has
be there
lost-
next year? I don't believe that, but
Obviously, Eckler's lost his step.
we hear those rumors. He has lost his step. If you
But
have
I
him on
like,
fantasy, no
I
good.
like the flashes of brilliance from Josh Palmer. Had a good game with not so good of a quarterback. So, I mean, they still got a bunch of tools in there, but they got to get a new coach now. So you're saying it's not going to be Belichick?
I don't think so.
He's not.
I'm not buying the rumor mill.
California. dream
We can talk about that
coming
later.
down. All right.
Browns surprise. I like that.
I'm trying to put off the inevitable.
You picked
know
the
what I mean?
Browns
I
with
don't want
surprise.
to really-
I like that. Deshaun Watson went down. Nick Chubb went down. We got Joe Flacco at the helm.
Flacco.
Hooking up with Njoku.
Flacco's
Super Bowl
elite.
champ, Joe Flacco.
That's true.
That's right.
He was a Jets, backup the last 2 seasons. Jets, Eagles backup. Kind of craziness. And you picked the Jets to disappoint. I mean, spot on there.
I thought that was an obvious one.
A lot of high
Nice
hopes.
job.
Super Bowl. Rodgers.
You were
Injured.
You were a little excited about that.
Yeah, I bought season
Even if
tickets this
Rodgers
year. I'm
wasn't
not
there.
re-upping on the season tickets next year, just to let that be known.
All right, good.
Yeah. Yes. Dominate Eagles. Good pick. I think it's an obvious pick, but good pick. We'll take it. They're kind of like skidding a little bit right now, though.
Well, we don't
Yeah,
mind that happening
it's
against
okay.
Giants fans.
No, of course you
Oh,
want
yeah.
that to happen.
Oh yeah.
Yes, and
Oh, yeah.
you're playing them on Christmas, correct?
Twice in the next how many? It's going to be who knows what.
Yeah.
Who knows?
Good pick. I like that pick. Lions. No, I'm sorry, that was me. Falcons. 6-8. You went out on a limb there. I can't name another Falcon besides Drake London. That's their wide receiver.
Bijan, baby. What's
Yeah.
wrong with you?
Yeah.
And they're using them poorly, so that's their fault.
They- they-
They should have been a little better.
They beat the Jets, but that's not hard to do.
Yeah.
And then Cowboys dominating at home, bad on the road. We saw what happened last week. They probably will disappoint us in the playoffs. What do you guys think about
Oh,
that?
for sure. I have no doubt about it. Dak is not that guy in the playoffs, and they will be a letdown.
Up and
Eventually.
down, up and down. Look what happened last week. I mean,
So when I originally, did your picks, I graded you a C. I think I was a little harsh now, though. I originally went C. I might have
well, you
changed that.
could change the grades. There's a process.
Maybe
that,
C plus, B
you
minus-ish.
go to guidance, you do
Yeah.
those
So
things.
you do go to
know.
guidance, yes,
So
yeah.
what's my final grade? B minus?
There was I'd say maybe C plus now. Yeah. I
Hey,
think I went a little
grade
hard.
up.
I went a little Theo. I went a little tough criticism. Yeah.
Well,
Constructive
what'd you get? A
criticism.
C?
No, I'm saying
I
my
got-
point
You got
being
a
that
C.
he's usually a tough
I'm
grader.
just trying
Right,
to see
yeah.
if I'm the worst, and it doesn't sound like I'm the
Nope,
worst.
it's not.
All right,
I can't believe
I'll take it.
Yeah, look, college has changed me. I never thought we'd be at a day when me and M-Dog were on the same level. And
Same level.
this is unacceptable. As host, I do strive to do better in the future.
Well, wait till you see in a couple of weeks what happens with Alabama, Michigan, Texas.
We're not even going to go there. Roll
baby.
Tide.
When
We
was the
know
last time
that
Alabama lost to the
is
same
winning.
team twice in one season? Holy moly, baby. Streaks got to end.
And it won't end this year. I'll tell you that.
Oh,
We-
you get past the
That's big talk.
Wolverines, my
I'm going
friend.
to continue this conversation before we go fully off the rails. Roll Tide, though.
Well, we
I'll let a little
we
bit.
obviously stink at NFL, so we're talking
Right,
about
that's a
college
fair
now.
point. I can't even deny that. We will be back, though, and we're going to try to make up for our picks with some new ones. So we'll be back with a new special segment. Don't go away.
NFC, AFC, offensive linemen, defensive tackles, quarterbacks, and cornerbacks are all living united to ensure the academic success of millions of kids in our communities all the way to graduation day. But that won't happen without you. So take the pledge at unitedway.org. Make a difference in the life of a child. Suit up like your favorite NFL players and become a volunteer reader, tutor, or mentor with United Way.
Welcome back to Keeping Score. We just recapped our horrible picks. And our picks were so bad that we had to go and add a new set member. So sit next to me, Mark Brandt. Mark, how we doing?
I'm doing great. Happy to be here. Usually I'm on the set of WPTV, William Patterson Television, but here at WVTV, very happy to be here. I've watched a little bit of Keeping Score. I just saw that last pick segment, and yeah, guys, it wasn't the greatest. I got to be honest. So I'm going to throw out a new challenge for you, and we're going to call it the Difference Maker Challenge. You're going to pick a difference maker for this upcoming playoffs, and we're going to see if they live up to the hype that you're expecting them to.
All right, well,
Let's do it.
he gives the challenge. Let's do it. Candyman, who's your X Factor?
My X Factor is Rashid Rice of the Kansas City Chiefs, former SMU Mustang, 4.51 40 speed. They've been going to him a lot recently. They're going to look for him to be the third down conversion guy, and I think Pat Mahomes is finally pretty comfortable with him. Maybe he can fill the void of the missing of Tyreek Hill for the past 2 seasons. That's my finding.
Yeah, look, we've obviously seen the many challenges with this Kansas City Chiefs team. M-Dog, we all knew that them adding Kadarius Toney would work out exactly like it did, right? Like, we knew that was a horrible move.
It usually is.
Yeah. No, that man.
I got a good one for you, though, when you're ready.
Well, we are actually going to go to Big Daddy before you.
All right.
You'll give us a difference maker eventually. But Big Daddy, I want to hear what your difference maker is.
So at the last season, I predicted the Lions were going to go to the Super Bowl, and you know what? I'm really hoping, keeping my fingers crossed. So my difference maker is Jared Goff. He's been to the Super Bowl before, didn't win, but he got to the Super Bowl before. He's got tons of weapons. We need him to be in the game. If he's in the game and he knows how to use those weapons properly, I think the Lions may actually take it home. We will see. We will see. I'm keeping my fingers crossed.
I feel like we all forget. Jared Goff in 2018, he was a third-year QB that took a team to a Super Bowl, and then out of nowhere, he started being viewed as a disappointment after that.
I agree.
I could really see him redeeming himself, and I'm very excited to see if that pick comes to fruition. But M-Dog, you hyped up your pick earlier. Who is it?
Listen, I like that pick. I love it. I love it, Big Daddy. It'd be interesting if Goff and then Stratford win Super Bowls with their second teams after they both got traded. That would be really that would be good.
Cool.
That would be a good NFL story. But let me tell you something right now. I think the Lions might face the Bills. All right, because I saw what they did last week against Dallas, and I'm thinking Josh Allen could really be a big, huge difference maker. All right, I'm on the train. I wouldn't call it the bandwagon because I've been a fan for a while. But let me tell you something. Like a couple of years ago, when I went to Denver and I saw the Mile High Prophet, I went to Buffalo this year. I saw a game, and let me tell you something. Josh Allen's going to be a big difference maker because he's going to be fueled by the 12th man. The Mafia is also going to be a big difference maker, all right? The Bills Mafia. Show the clip, baby. Show it. Come on.
What does it mean to be a Bills fan?
And so Ron over there
He gets doused in ketchup and mustard.
I think everybody knows the tradition. Tables breaking.
What's stopping you from diving into a table? Probably my lower back.
I don't want to wreck my jacket.
We can get a table for you if you want.
Gotta love the Bills Mafia.
Let me tell you something. If that's not a difference maker, I don't know what is.
Yeah, I agree, and it's great. You can have the 12th man, or the Mafia rather, as a difference maker. That's all well.
Well, Josh Allen fueled by the Mafia.
Yeah, but then I'm saying,
he's
got the Mafia, and then Josh Allen throws a fourth quarter pick, and the Bills lose the game. I mean, that's how
He's gotta use
what
his
you
legs.
did for me yesterday. What are you going to do
When the
for
play
me next
design, they
week?
use his legs, his arm actually gets more confidence. They ride with him. They ride or die with Josh Allen pretty much. Even though there's some talent surrounding him, like the man next to me.
Oh, yeah.
And speaking of the man next to you, well, if I jumped over you earlier, let's hear your difference maker right now.
See, I know I talked about you and your grade with the Vikings, but I'm actually going to give a little bit of praise to Justin Jefferson. I think he's the difference maker to the Vikings making the playoffs because with him playing, he is he's a top wide receiver in the NFL. I think he is the best wide receiver in football, and no matter who he's guarded up against, he puts up numbers, he puts up yards, he puts up touchdowns. And this offense without him looks lost almost. They have a backup quarterback. They really need a number one star receiver to be out there to get this team to the playoffs. And Justin Jefferson, who's been injured most of the year, I think is the guy who can really go out there and just do that for the Vikings.
Well, as someone who held the number one pick in fantasy this year, I do not want to think about Justin Jefferson. But look, we all know what an incredible player he is, so I can't say anything negative about this pick. Look, Mark, you threw this out here. You gave us this challenge. Who's your player?
I did, and I just want to state this, Theo, by saying I'm wearing this Baltimore Ravens Joe Flacco jersey for 2 reasons. 1, I'm repping my home state of New Jersey, Joe Flacco from Audubon. And 2, I'm going with Isaiah Likely, the tight end on the Baltimore Ravens. You know, Mark Andrews, he's done for the year, right? And we see Isaiah Likely stepping up, picking up right where he left off like that. He's been a difference maker in the last 2 games, putting up a lot of points for me in fantasy along with the Lamar Jackson stack. And I just think he's a real difference maker for this team, and he's just going to be, filling that void that the injured Mark Andrews leaves.
Yeah, look, I really like this Ravens team right now, so I honestly couldn't see it. I mean, first of all, I don't know how we ended up that way.
Yeah, I mean, how do you leave a tight end that way?
That's a Rams defensive problem, but he really is a great player, great route runner. I like what I've seen. Now, you brought up Joe Flacco.
I did.
He is the starting QB on the Browns.
Yeah, he's tearing it up.
The Browns have a very good team. I almost made Joe Flacco my difference maker.
Oh,
Why
man.
not?
Almost.
Would love that.
There's one player that I think is even more significant than Joe Flacco right now down the stretch. That player is Matthew Stafford. You look at this Rams team. Cooper Kupp is still just as good as he was in 2021. Puka Nakuma's come out of nowhere, and he's a beast right now. The defense, look, at the end of the day, you still got Aaron Donald, you still got talent. And if Matt Stafford, who, by the way, is playing even better than he did in 2021, if Matt Stafford can continue to play like this and can even step it up to another level, there's no reason that the Rams can't be really in the NFC Championship, maybe even in the Super Bowl. I really think that LA can go far, and Matt Stafford can take them there.
Well, Theo, I hope you're right because I just inserted him into my fantasy. It was a
Championship
waiver
this week?
wire pickup, yeah.
Yeah?
And my quarterbacks went down. And
Who'd
Kirk
you have?
Cousins.
Oh, yeah.
You're disappointed. Your pick
Bad.
disappointed you. Yeah.
I was rocking.
So I hope you're right just for that.
Yeah, I was rolling with Stroud all year. Then he went down. That was rough. That was rough.
I picked him up. He helped me out.
You're just
Yeah, he did.
replacing Kirk Cousins now.
No,
He's been
no,
in your
no.
lineup for the last 10 weeks.
Inaccurate. It's called listening. Cousins to Stroud.
Craziness.
Now to Stafford.
It's a solid jump.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it really is.
There's always a quarterback out there that's going to give you 15, 20 points. And now I'm sorry to transition to fantasy because we're going, real NFL picks. But
Yeah, NFL fantasy, they're all the same. They're all part of the league that we love, and it's always a pleasure getting to cover and talk about that league here on Work Valley Television. Great crew around me. Mark, it was great having you on set.
It was great being here.
Yeah, nice coming back and seeing some of my former teachers in a different atmosphere for sure. And Makai, Wi-Fi, looking forward to see what you can do here with this program going forward. But once again, love talking football. Love being back here in Warwick for WVTV. I'm Theodore Fernandez.